Welcome to the Country Fried Outdoors Chasing Your Experience podcast. The podcast that will connect you to resources regionally and nationwide to engage them in open, honest discussions so that we can inspire the growth that you need to chase the experience you want. So strap yourself in because here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Chasing Your Experience podcast. I'm your host, Sean Smith, and we have a very special one on tap for you guys today. I know I say that all the time. Maybe I need to quit saying it so much, but every episode it's special to me, and I hope you guys find it special as well. But on this episode, I've got a fellow Ohioan on the other line. Help me welcome Nathan Wheeler. Nathan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Sean. How are you today?
It's Ohio, and it's not sub-zero temperatures. I'm good.
That's a good day.
Man, yesterday, so it warmed up here in Ohio with 50 some degrees. I don't know how high I got for you guys. We were around 56. So all this snow's been melting. And it's a very terrible time for my downspouts to get clogged up. I don't know what happened, but two of my big ones got clogged up. So I've got water that was backing up. It was coming into our foundation. So I was scrambling around yesterday to deal with that. So
definitely a stressful day.
First world problems, I guess.
Yeah, I took a ride. It was nice. I let 10 rounds off through my 22 just to have something to do, and I did get stuck in the snow, so that was kind of an adventure.
Today it's ice. Whatever melted is now ice today because it froze, and that was fun. It was like a skating rink when I went out to take care of the goats and chickens this morning. So
Yep.
the only thing that's nice is, with having everything shut off for the winter, like the water lines and stuff, I used one of those jet sleds to haul water down. So I'll have like a big water jug and I use a jet sled and with the snow, it's been great. Now with the ice, it was fun until I have to try to keep friction myself and try to pull it.
Right. Yep.
After like a baby fawn, trying to get through stuff, man.
You need to get you a side by side.
I got a four-wheeler. And okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I can't stomach the price of a freaking side-by-side these days. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I can't stomach the price. I can't stomach the price of a new truck. Like, there's a deep-seated, like, absolute, like, resentment or not absolute. I don't know if resentment's the right word. There's like this deep-seated, like, I will not purchase a vehicle that costs more than my first house. Like, it's like deeply seated in me. Like, I will not do it. And unfortunately, we might be forced into that.
Yeah, believe me, I get it. My wife, she just got a new truck, and man, I got in it for the first time last weekend, and golly, it was like I was in a spaceship. It's got the big monitor in the front, all these bells and whistles, and then we went through a drive-through, and it was like a picture from like an aerial picture down onto the truck, and I said, how does that how does that work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're caught. We can't do nothing now. The government's on us.
Big Brother is watching us now.
Yes, we're toast. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I mean, when I first started driving, leather seats and power windows, and if you had the little Bluetooth thing in the radio, that was you were hot riding it. And now, gosh, they watch Netflix and YouTube and all kinds of stuff when they're going down the road.
And we wonder why people are so distracted today. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll give you
no, go ahead.
I said we'll give you a ticket for texting, but go ahead and you can watch your Netflix.
Go ahead and watch your Netflix. It's all right. Here's my thing about this though, is that those vehicles rely so much on that hub that if something goes wrong with that, like the entire vehicle's like shut down, like, yep, sorry, I can't do anything.
Yes.
They've become so computer controlled. I'm like, no.
Yep.
I don't like it. I'm not trying
to fix one.
No, you can't. because you go to fix something, it's going to throw something else off because of the how in sync they are with their computer, with the computer running
Yep.
everything. So if it's not right, or you went and got some aftermarket product that may or may not be up to code, uh, he'll
Yeah, yeah.
he'll start throwing codes. Next thing you know, your truck or vehicle's running rough, or it just won't start or won't do anything. So
Yep, can't go to the pull apart store no more.
no, no. And I'm not trying to be like John Connor in Terminator, that worried about that type of stuff. It's just the fact they're so reliant on that computer and everything's all in sync.
Yes.
I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation to be
Yeah.
had. They say it's for efficiency, but I think they're full of crap, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
Um,
for them to track us, that's what it is.
and well, hmm, I know there's a way now that law enforcement in some of the newer vehicles, they can actually like get the code and shut your vehicle down if you're running from
Really?
them. Well, yeah. So I mean, it's coming. I mean, in the they'll use it as in the name of safety. Now I am law. You and I talked off the phone before. On the phone
Yeah.
before. I am law enforcement, so I'm not talking from being like the tinfoil hat, anti-government, anti-law enforcement person. That's not me. I still work for the government.
Right.
It's all for the name of safety is what they say it's for. And it's funny. I know this is not the content people are here to listen to, but it's funny that how much of our freedoms we'll give up in the namesake of safety.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyways, that's not the content people are here to listen to. And Nathan's like, I have no idea what I just signed myself up for.
Oh, hey,
This
I
I
mean, I'm rolling. Any adventure you want to go on, we'll go.
well, Nathan, let's start diving into this whole thing. And your first time comer on the podcast, and luckily it's not your first podcast, so you had that taken care of for you. So hopefully
Yeah, the nerves. Yeah, the nerves don't hit quite as early in the morning, you know.
it's not your first one, so we don't have to worry about, you can be a little more comfortable and more relaxed, and that's okay there. But since your first time coming on the podcast, why don't you let everyone know who you are, where you're from, and just get a little bit of background about yourself. How about that?
Yeah, so my name's Nathan Wheeler. I live in Killbuck, Ohio, which is in Holmes County. So we're in the heart of Amish country. I make a joke. I have more Amish friends than I do English friends now. Um, but yeah, let's see. I've been married to my wife for 8 years, and she's the one that got me into hunting. Um, she got me into hunting pretty deep. Um, yeah, I fished most of the time. That was what I did growing up, was fishing. And my parents didn't own land, and I never wanted to ask buddies to take me or anything like that. I just, you guys go ahead, I go fish. Fishing's peaceful to me. But yeah. So, and I better make a note of it, because the first couple podcasts I did, she got a little irritated. So this big one, that's definitely hers. This one's hers. That one over there, and that one. And mine's the one up in the corner, just the little, and then the spikes are the kids. so so we gotta, Annie Oakley, she outshoots me some days.
Yeah, that's all right. I've found in my experience women tend to be better shooters when they're engaged in it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
They're way more patient.
oh yeah, they tend to follow directions better too
Yeah, yeah,
when they're
yes.
engaged. When they're engaged, but well, dude, that's awesome. So that's kind of funny that you mentioned that it was your wife that brought you into hunting. I did a podcast with a young lady. Well, yeah, I'll say young lady, and she's from Northwest Ohio, and she got into hunting because of her husband. Well, she grew up in a hunting family. Like her dad hunted, her brothers hunted, and so she didn't get involved in it. She's like, well, I always thought it was like a guy's thing. So I just didn't do it. And then she got with her husband. And I think before they were married, he kind of started talking her into doing it. And then she eventually got into deer hunting. And I think she's like 3 years in. I think it's like her third year hunting. And she ends up shooting a 200-inch buck.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Uh, so I'm like, wow. But it's funny how the spouses, the influence the spouses can have on an individual to get into the sport. And generally, and I'll be honest, generally it's usually seems to be the other way around. It's usually the husband that brings the wife into the sport. You don't really hear it
Yeah.
about much about the other way around. So
Yeah,
so
hey, listen, when we got married and we moved back up here, man, they got me into all kinds of stuff. I was coon hunting and 3 o'clock in the morning, 700-yard dogs, 700 yards away. And,
mhm.
my brother-in-law was like, all right, well, let's go get him. We're taking a gun, dude. Like, we're shooting it. Like, what?
Do what?
Oh, no, I said, we got to take a gun. Like, I'm not walking 700 yards to just look up there and be like, yep, there it is.
Yeah, there's a
No,
tree.
we're shooting it. Like, what's the point of doing this if we're not going to be shooting these things?
And it's kind of goes against the grain of what we're doing.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's been a blast. Like I've loved every second of what they have exposed me to.
Mhm.
And with our kids, that's what I want to do is expose them to being as self-sustainable as they can. Like we have cattle, we have chickens, goats, ducks. I mean, you name it, we've had it.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I really try to hit on with him is like, yeah, they're cute, they're pets, but they go into your belly. They feed you.
Hey, God bless you for that because I've had this talk before. Like I can go hunting and I can, harvest animals hunting. I sat down like I don't know if I could raise an animal and then send it off to slaughter. Like I'm that type of person. Like it have like a name. I'm like I can't do it. So
Oh, listen, we had one, and my son named him. It was named him Beast, and he's just a black Angus. I mean, he was pretty. We had him from when he was a bottle baby, and I had to take him, to the
mhm.
butcher. And man, I've never looked into an animal's eyes and just like felt that like sense of he knows what's going on. Like, like it kind of spooked me out for real. And I told Megan, I said, I don't want to take another one there. I'll buy them all day long, but I don't want to take them.
I know. I did not want to be partaking in there. And that just goes to show, like, farmers get, I don't know, I don't think they get poo pooed on a lot, but I think they get neglected a lot. Like, people really don't think a lot about them or what they do. Or some of them
Right.
think that they're heartless people. I'm like, not really. You'd be amazed to see the amount of care that they put towards. Now, obviously, there's always a turd somewhere. Like, don't, it doesn't matter
Sure.
what walk of life it is. There's always a turd somewhere. There's a turd preacher. There's a turd rabbi. There's a turd police officer, there's a turd governor, there's always turds everywhere, right? And
Yes.
in everything. And we would like to thank you for your support of the Chasing Your Experience podcast. If you'd like to continue to support the podcast, then please check out our online store at bonfire.com. There, you can purchase exclusive Chasing Your Experience podcast t-shirts and hoodies for all members of your family. Check out the link down in the description to find the store. And now, back to the pod. But that's not the norm, right? Generally, they are really good, hardworking individuals. And I've been on a few operations and watched like just the amount of care that they have for every animal is like I don't know how you do it. Like I don't know how you emotionally can like have this much care for this animal, knowing where it's going to go, and
Right.
be able to get through that, the disassociation to be able to do that. Like kudos to you, my friend, because listen, I don't know if I could do it.
It's I guess it's to me it's one of those things where it's kind of just like deer hunting where I'm thankful like that animal is giving up its life for
Hmm.
me to nourish my body, to feed my family, to do all these things with. And you know that's I think what I think about when
Hmm.
when we send them and then we kind of have like an empty pasture. It's like, well, this kind of sucks, let's get some more.
Still get more.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, the hitting on the farmers care for their animals. Like Megan and I have had like real cold winters, and we'll have bottle caps and we'll bring them inside. And we have gates over the doorways. They hang out in this area, We try to
Mhm.
get them warm and you know, make well, try to make sure that they can survive and make
Right.
sure we do everything we can do.
Right.
She had her goats, they kidded last week, was the end of it. And she was up there playing Dr. Pool, man. She definitely pulled one out, like full blown
Mm.
she was in it. She was, yeah, scrub,
See,
like when the doctors scrub up, like, yeah,
yep,
that's,
she was
she
deep.
was up in there, man. It was, and I see the reward that she gets from that. And man, you can't match that.
No, you can't.
There's nothing I could do to match that feeling that she has.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's like, it's almost like, I can't speak on how she feels, and that's all I'm trying to get to, but it's like this, like, deeper seated thing that's in people to care about animals, and I think
Yes.
and the issue is when it goes so far that we get to the point to where we become the antis of farming, anti-hunters, anti-this, like, we've become so it it's the extreme of that,
Liberal.
right? It's the extreme of that, right? And did you see Portland right now? They have a petition going around. I don't think there are too many signatures off from it becoming a ballot issue to criminalize farming, hunting, ranching, all of that
Really?
in Oregon. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think you'll win, and I don't think you'll win overall. But but
Man.
it just lets you know that how easily, because they just need 100 some thousand signatures. And last I had heard or seen, I think they were in the 90s, I think. So they weren't far from having enough signatures to get it put on a ballot.
And that's ridiculous. And it's probably all the little small town people and stuff that they get out there. And those people probably aren't going out to the back roads and
No, it's Portland is what it is. Portland,
yeah.
and it's the same here in Ohio. Like Ohio's ran by Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland, the three C's, right?
Yep.
Oregon is ran by Portland. I'm sure there might be a couple others in there. Washington's ran by Seattle. It's it's such a big disconnect between what the majority now that's just now while that might be a major populous hub, it is such a small demographic of that entire state that lives in those little three areas. Like the most majority of the states, like more like us here in like Tuscarawas County and Holmes County and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
have a different, I can't say we have drastically different values, but we have different values, and different
Yeah.
needs, different ones. And we
I
have
think we understand the purpose of an animal.
Mhm.
That is not a pet. I mean, I'm not gonna go butcher a cat and eat it or a dog or but
No.
an animal that is made for me to eat,
Mhm.
I'm gonna eat it. I
Right.
mean,
No, I'm with you. I get it. And
um,
it's just I don't know, it's just an extreme that it gets taken too far, and that's what happens. Anything that goes to extreme is not good ever.
no.
Um,
Either way, I mean, either way,
Mhm. Like,
left or right. If it goes to the max, it's just never.
luckily right now, we're not even worried about that because we've got people complaining about too many non-resident hunters, and
Yeah.
they wanna see non-residents go to a go to a draw. We're not worried about people trying to take our hunting rights away. We just don't want non-residents coming in coming in, taking up all of our good spots. That's
Yeah,
all.
that and man, that's a topic I've heard a lot of this year is these guys coming in from out of state and oh, they're only going to shoot bucks. Well, then that doe population in that area becomes so high that the bucks aren't moving as much. So it's like, are you really like, what are you really up here for?
Okay. This is a great conversation. I want us to get into this since we brought it up. Um,
Yes.
so what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm going to preface this. ODNR, or Division of Wildlife, has been under the gun for several things. Obviously, the recent EHD outbreak has been, everyone's up in arms about that with the Division of Wildlife. Okay, let's take that for a minute, but hold that and put it in the back pocket. But they're also under the gun because people think that the Division of Wildlife is trying to um, basically decimate our deer population, right? They want us, and because if you've not noticed, the Division of Wildlife has been very adamant about, hey, please shoot more does, please shoot more does, please shoot more
Right.
does. That's what they want us to do. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Why do you is doe management like is it something that we need to actively participate in?
So me personally, I don't, I don't have that problem. I'm the type of, whatever God lets walk in front of me that day that I'm hunting, I'm gonna
Hmm.
shoot it. So to say that I've ever managed a herd or had high volume number of deer in one area, I just haven't. But I see why people are on the side of going ahead and shooting more doe, and I'm all for it. I
Hmm.
mean, if people do it the right way, I'm all for it. Like, you know, if you're not gonna eat it, then give it to like the homeless shelter or
Hmm.
these food banks and
Hmm.
food pantries. Like use it, use it as what it's intended for, not just live target practice.
Right.
And I think some people are that way. And you know that it's just not ethical.
Right.
There's nothing ethical about it. So we are. I know we're a three tag state. One buck, two does. But
Okay.
then we can go to another county and shoot three does.
Hmm.
So if they were smart, they would just bump. I would say bump it up to five. One buck and four does. Because how like I don't have land in another county that I can go hunt. Like,
Hmm.
this is what I got. Like
Right.
I wasn't involved in no trust fund and made deals with whoever and got 100 acres of land. Like, not in that. What I've got is what I've worked for, was what my wife has worked for. So why not? Yeah, just bump it up. If you want us to manage the does,
Hmm.
and people are into that,
Hmm.
then bump us up to a five tag.
Okay. So I've had some conversations with ODNR about this, right? And here's what they're going to tell you. The average hunter only shoots about 1.3 deer a year, the average successful
Yeah.
hunter. And like, I don't know if people knew this, but you used to be able to shoot 18 deer in Ohio. Back when we did the zones, and
Hmm.
you couldn't shoot more than that zone's limit. So say like our area was zone C, we could shoot 6 deer, right? And then you could go to another zone, shoot their maximum, go to the next zone, shoot their maximum, go to another zone, shoot their maximum. And then by the
Oh
time it's
wow.
all said and done, you could have had 18 deer if you wanted it, right? Now, obviously,
Yeah.
you only allowed one antlered deer with that. So, but here's what they found. So, doing the math for them, they're like, listen, the average hunter that is successful only shoots 1.3 deer. So it doesn't matter what bag limits we set. And the only reason we changed the bag limit to an actual like 6 statewide was just merely optics. That was it. Because
Okay.
leaving us at 18, people felt that we were inadvertently showing a disvalue for deer, and we weren't putting enough value towards them. So we decided to drop it down to 6. And
Okay.
so it had nothing to do with, it's like we could run an unlimited bag limit, to be honest with you. And
Yeah, probably.
there's not very many people who you know, would actually go more than 2, maybe 3 in a
Sure.
year, right? Now honestly, like you, I don't like the idea of just going out and just killing them just to kill. That's not the purpose of any of this, right? However,
Right.
unfortunately, I've got news for people. If it's not managed in certain areas, that's what's going to happen. Is they're going to do it.
Ab Yep.
It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's going to be state sponsored. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. I didn't know what your thoughts are with about any reservations when it came to like hunting does or bucks and those things, because they're like you
Yeah,
said. Go ahead.
I'm not really. I mean, if it walks in front of me and I've got the shot, I'm taking it. I guess that's just, trigger happy me, but Uh,
I don't even
I
think.
will say, so this year, last year, the two does that I shot definitely together weighed about as much as Megan's buck. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna shoot it if it's got spots, but if there ain't no spots and it's out there and tomorrow's gonna be negative whatever, I'm gonna shoot it.
Hey, guess what? Well,
God.
there's been times I've been able to backpack a deer out that I shot. So I mean, basically,
Yeah.
oh, I just kind of just threw up over my shoulders and off we went. I'm like, oh well, I guess it's gonna be tender. Um, you know, I don't understand the reservation, and I understand everyone has their own desire to do what they want to do in the outdoors world, and that's one of the premises I try to stick to. Is like, listen, I'm not going to sit and bash you if this is what you want to do. I guess my main issue becomes when people start locking down, and this is what people are afraid of, and this is why people don't talk a lot about it. This is why they think that getting rid of the non-residents will do this or this or that, will open up more opportunities and stuff. There is because people will lock up like swaths of land and only hunt bucks, right?
Right.
And they might even come to Ohio to hunt at all, but they have this land locked up. No one else is allowed to access it except for their small little circle of people. And they may not
Yep.
even come to Ohio to hunt. And so then it kind of inadvertently creates these deer sanctuaries that does start to run rampant in. And all they're after is these larger bucks. So, and it's a whole nother discussion I think I'm going to have on another episode.
Yeah.
My idea behind this, and I will share this. So I told you about that buck that was on our farm, right? And
Yeah.
he was big, right? I don't know if he was 200 big, but he was big, right? And there are several of us who, several farms around us who had pictures of him. They knew he was there. We all knew he was there, right? Well, he ended up getting shot by somebody, I think, like a mile away from our farm. I had him on camera like all late season last year. I hunted for him a few times and it just never worked. I would be there, he wasn't there. I wouldn't be there, he'd be there. I had him
Right.
daylight. Listen to this, daylight, 11, I was like 10 to 11 a.m., the second day of gun season on
Oh.
camera in my spot that I like to hunt up there.
Oh.
The second day of gun season, middle of the day, right?
Mm.
He daylighted a lot in that area. So I had my chances at him. When I say chances, like he was in that area, right? I just never had the opportunity to see him on the hoof or get an actual opportunity at him. So fast forward to this year, didn't get a lot of photos of him. I think maybe the landowner had like one or two photos of him. I hadn't seen him yet. So I'm like, well, I don't know what happened to him. I know he's not dead, unless he died during the off season. Someone poached him, he
Yeah.
got hit by a car, or he just died because he was an older buck. Like this, let's be real, he was an older deer. And so I finally got a photo. Someone had harvested him, and I maybe I'm too my own horn here when I say this, but I was like, well, good for them. Like I didn't get mad, I didn't get upset. And unfortunately, I think there's too many people that would just get like totally mad and then, well, how can I stop this from happening? And they start looking, how can they block their neighbors out? How
Yep.
can they do these things? I'm like, you know what? I, Maybe I'm not that greedy of a person when it comes to deer. Like I don't know what it is, but I'm happy for that person that they shot that deer, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a chapter of a story. Like, would I've liked to have got him? Yeah. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a deer. It's not my deer. It's our deer. And someone had an opportunity and was successful with him. So
Right. There's that, and the way I believe there's only one person that owns the deer, and he's got the best seat in the house to watch him walk by. So, if it's how can you own a wild animal just because it's on your land every now and then?
yeah, I get it.
So, and I get the thrill of seeing the big buck on camera, watching him and doing
Mhm.
that. I get that thrill like 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be heartbroken and let it ruin my season if somebody 2 farms down shoots him like,
Hey,
good for
good
you.
for you.
You were
Good for
there.
you.
I
Uh,
don't ever want to take that memory away from somebody.
right. I just hope that I don't get to the point. And I don't think, I mean, I obviously don't see it happening, but me personally, I don't want to see myself get to the point to where my first response to something like that would have been anger.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
that deer was poached. Yes, I'd be upset, but
Sure, absolutely.
successfully taken legally, at the same opportunities that I have, that the rest of us have legally, I'm okay
Yep.
with it. Like, good for you,
Yep.
buddy. Um, and
Absolutely.
I just hope I don't get to the point where my initial response to anything like that is anger or
Yeah.
jealousy or, something along those lines. Cause then I think it's time, I don't know, it's time to have a heart to heart with yourself and like, why are you really doing this? And are you really promoting this? Are you really promoting this activity and chasing it for the right reasons? Or are you doing this for your own selfish gain?
No, absolutely. And that kind of goes back to the the guys that only hunt big deer. Like he's 4 years old, but man, next year he'll be a monster. Like, would they hunt that same exact way if it was back in the 1900s and you had to hunt to put meat on your table to feed your family? No.
Probably not. No,
No.
no.
If that biggin comes by, cool. But guess what? They're gonna shoot some does, and they're probably gonna shoot a couple does without tags and cut them up real fast because that's meat in their freezer.
Yeah, probably.
You know, that's
Probably.
that's how Megan and I look at it. And when she first got me into it, man, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to shoot a monster just itching. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm,
never shot a big old antlered buck. Like first one I shot was a button buck, and I swear it was a doe. Like,
mhm,
well, you know what I mean? It was just one of those instances where, oh, there's a deer. I'm supposed to shoot it. So bang, like I didn't,
mhm,
and yeah, the one that I have up there, that's the only big antlered deer that I've ever shot. And probably I think one of the only ones that I've ever seen while actually hunting.
mhm,
Just because I'm not waiting on it. Like, hey, this doe right here, she would do me just fine in the fridge.
mhm,
So that is the side of hunting that I wish more people were on board with. Everybody can say that,
mhm,
like, oh yeah, we eat it, we love it. Cool. Every person does. But are you gonna go all year without shooting and be like, oh well, I didn't see him this year, but you done passed on four does or a
mhm.
buck that might be just a little bit smaller?
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. Full disclosure here, like I don't have a problem with somebody in there if they want to be that type of hunter. Like this is what I wanted to focus on. This is what I wanted.
Sure.
I'm okay with that, right? My issue starts with them is when they start trying to isolate or try their best to try to push people out away from them or push people away where it's not benefiting the culture at all. Um,
Yes.
when they're trying to do stuff like, there's talks of people putting fences up now that, where they're trying to block neighbors off, access to their neighbors' properties just so they can try to keep deer on their properties. Like, okay, I have a problem with this because this is now you being selfish. It's not you
Yeah.
being overall collective of how can we improve everything. This is you being selfish for your own good.
Yep.
Um, and I get it. And I get if people that's what people want to do, they want to chase those larger deer. I'm okay. Like I don't have a problem with that particularly. Like I said, it's when you start to negatively impact the culture because of your own selfishness and it becomes
Yes.
that, then there's an issue, in my opinion. But
Yes, like the whole arrogance of people shooting big deer. Like like good for them. That's
yeah,
great. They put in the work. They did it, and that's awesome for them.
hmm
But I don't want that person to brag to me or to, tell me this or that because I don't care about the big. I just like hunting, honestly. Like I literally and maybe I picked a bad spot this year, but I went every day for 3 weeks straight. And I'm telling you right now, the only thing I saw was a blue lightning bug that caught my attention. That was it. But I'm telling you right now, I had fun every day.
yeah,
Every day I had a blast. And I was ready to go the next day, ready to go the next day. Just because it is I don't know, it's such a connection to the earth and just you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just that feeling like yeah, I love watching the woods wake up and I love watching the woods go to bed. Just the sounds and the sights of all the birds, you know, are all right there and then they just boom and then they never come back because it's bedtime.
Mhm.
And it's like, man, okay, like this is cool. This is knowledgeable stuff that we should be passing down
Yeah.
instead of, well, son, just leave him be. He's a 3-year-old. Next year we might get a shot at him. Like,
I
what
get
does
it.
that teach him? I, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
No, I get it.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm so strong on not really. It's not that I don't like him, and it's not that I don't watch the stuff on TV or you know, when you go to these sportsman shows and they have all these huge racks, like, oh, that's really cool.
Mhm.
But like, I would rather stay over here in this lane and let them be in that.
Well, and that's kind of the point, though. Is like chase your own experience. Like it's when you start attacking people for chasing the experience that they want. That's when the issue starts to happen. This because I
Correct.
guarantee you, I'm about to say a phrase that's going to grind your gears, and
Maybe.
this phrase is, "Why couldn't you give him another year?" I wouldn't have shot that. You should have gave that deer another year.
You
You
know,
know,
my response back to that is, well, good thing he didn't walk in front of your stand.
right?
And he'll be in the skillet tonight if you want to bite, come over.
We're gonna have some really good chili with this deer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just I would have that and then I don't know, I have a hard time with when, you know, somebody shoots a buck and like, you know, they're proud of it, yeah, and then you're looking at it and you don't have that wow reaction, and
Hmm.
they're kind of like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't have. Like, dude, if you are happy and that is what you wanted to shoot, and you had your heart beating out of your chest and you were shaking so bad that the scope was moving, man, shoot it.
Be proud of that deer.
Absolutely. Because guess what? And I love this saying. You're going to be the first person to ever lay a hand on that. You are the first one. So be proud about that. That right there, that's half of the battle.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? How elusive are deer? And then like, oh, you shoot a nice 10-point buck, man, I would be so happy.
Hmm.
So I get happy if it's a big doe.
Oh, it's yeah.
I mean, fawns come in from 200 yards running in the field, man. I'm shaking as soon as I see them. Just because that's the thrill of it for me. Like when I'm personally hunting, that is the thrill. And then when everybody else hunts, the thrill is watching their excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, sometimes I'm more excited for other individuals who are successful sometimes than I am for my own success. You know,
Oh, I mean, yes,
yes,
yes.
especially with, people who are close to me. Like I'm super excited for them. Like they'll call me like, "Hey, we got one." I'm like, "I'll be out to help you."
Yep, yep.
Hold on. So,
Hey,
uh,
listen, I can't do much, but I promise you I will be in that side by side cheering you on.
cheering you on 100%. I'll be the best side by side driver you've ever seen.
Oh, I'll be the rider. I don't drive the side by side
All
yet.
right. Well, buddy, let's start that. So you said you were kind of, I hate this term, but people say on adult onset hunter, whatever that term is. But you got into it because of your coming getting in with your wife. So how long have you been hunting then?
So let's see. We got together and we got married in 2019. So 7 years,
7 years.
8
Okay. All
years. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And I've killed a deer every year that I've gone hunting. Um,
Good for
just
you.
I've only shot one, you know, one rack deer. That's everything else has either been a button buck or a doe.
Nothing wrong with that.
Um, maybe a couple fawns here and there just because I get excited. But
So how'd she get you into hunting? Like what was that conversation like? How'd that work? What happened?
So it would have been the year before we got married. She came up and hunted with up at her mom and dad's house,
Hmm.
and she shot a really nice 10 point. It's the one right here.
Okay.
He's a really nice one, and just seeing her excitement and that like joy, and you know her telling me about it, and I was just like, yeah, let's try it. Like, we're gonna try it.
Hmm.
So it would have been the next year. It would have been gun. It would have been the gun week.
Okay.
Was like my first time going, and it was a little shaky experiences. I may or may not have dropped my father-in-law's 4570.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was a whoops, and I'm just glad that I'm still in the family. I'm still upright, so.
They didn't disown me. Well, that's good.
No, he didn't. And 2 days later, I was able to shoot one with it. But
Awesome.
you know, I would say honestly, just man, I don't know, just being out there, and then nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, boom, and your adrenaline skyrockets, and what I mean, you get so geeked up, or you're looking out to the right, and then you look back to the left, and there's like a raccoon or a turkey or something, and you're just like, oh, like, you know what I mean, like that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that feeling, that just surprise of like, here I am, like, here you go.
Here we go.
Here we go, we're gonna get it. So yeah, I would the first couple years I never went up a tree. I messed around here and there with my brother-in-law going up, and like when we'd go check cameras and stuff, like I'd climb up and be like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then so it would have been 2023 is uh is when I made a 5-second decision that, you know, really impacted my life and my family's life, and everybody's life. I was rushing into the woods, and I don't need a harness. I'm only gonna be up there for a couple hours. Well, if I'd had that harness, things probably would be a little different. So, I did. I fell. I wasn't doing anything silly. Wasn't playing Tarzan, swinging from, tree to tree. I just either lost my balance, or the teeth of the platform stand, the teeth of it must have come loose or something a little bit, and it like jumped, and I wasn't ready, and lost my balance and fell.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So I fell around 2:30, and then my wife came at 6. That's when it gets dark, shooting lights over about 5:30, 5:45. If you're not home by 6:15, something's wrong. I fell to the left, my phone went to the right, and so I didn't have a phone. Yeah, so I ended up breaking my L1 through 5. Burst fracture, just completely gone. Um, I broke my left shoulder. I had two traumatic brain injuries. My spleen was bleeding out. My lung was filling up with blood. So I would say I was pretty close to knocking on the door.
Hmm.
Uh, and And it was just like this, just I could just hear the cyber sign. I'm telling you, it was redlining. There was that if that pedal could have went through the floorboard, it would have, because they were en route, and I was like, oh, thank God. So she got there, and man, I don't think anybody else could have handled it any better than she did. I'm complaining like, move me, just I need to get comfortable, and she's no, no, because I don't know if your neck's broke, and blah blah blah, and it was she had, and I know it's how her mind works. On her way up there, I know she had a checklist already running in her mind, like, we'll find him, we need to call 911, we need to do, and I credit her a lot. She is a trooper. She's very calm under pressure. So
Hmm.
she did the right thing. It took it took about 45 minutes for the paramedics to get down to where I was. and then it took about 2 hours to get up to the helicopter. Then I was in the helicopter and we flew to Grant, 12-hour surgery, 2 week stay, maybe a month stay there, and then went to a rehab facility. And I came home that first of the year. So yeah, it's if I don't know. I think, and maybe I'm being biased, but like at hunter safety courses, I think they should have somebody that has had a traumatic accident or something go wrong with them. I think they should go to all of these courses that are offered and talk to these kids or adults that are taking the class and saying like, "Hey, look, I was that guy. I was that guy. I was bulletproof, man. Ain't nothing gonna break me."
Hmm.
Well, guess what? You know, I just I feel like if you had that, would it change your true like, okay, I'm not going to forget this harness. I don't care if I have to come back and get it, but you need it. It's almost as important as your arrow with your broadhead on it, you know?
Hmm.
So that yeah, it's okay. I'm alive, I'm kicking, kinda. But yeah, I'm paralyzed from the waist down. So uh but I tell you, the only thing that I can't do is drive. And it's not because, I can't do the hands. It's I got these nerve pains and
Hmm.
you know, it tightens up, and when I clench down, like I have to close my eyes, and I'm just really gritting. And man, if I caused an accident, I would feel like a complete loser,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
So, and then I'll hit on this big buck that she shot one more time. She shot that to the day of my 1 year anniversary of fall
Mm.
at the same property.
Please tell me it wasn't the shade tree stand.
No, 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 no,
Mm.
sir. Nope. I'm telling you, I literally think after the dust kind of settled,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody went out and checked their straps and their chains, and
Yeah.
they made sure it was all right. But I tell you, I think, I'm a very religious person, and I think that God has a calling for me now. And if it's to be in this chair and to promote hunter safety, or you know be involved with things, that's my focus. And that's all I want to do is use something that could be such a negative and turn it into something that is overly abundant, a positive.
Yeah. I guess some follow ups on this, and feel free. Like if we start diving in too deep, you don't want to talk about it, then we don't have to.
I'm an open book.
Well, I get that, but there's a certain point where and like I said, some people are more resilient than others, and they can handle reliving some of these things. But
Yeah,
let's start here. So was this like let's be honest. How many times have you been to the woods in a tree without a harness on before the accident?
a lot.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, there's people do it all the time. Like, I don't like to admit this. I've done it. I've done it in the past, and
My
um,
father-in-law, he said, "Man, I've been hunting for 40 years and I've never wore one."
I've got a friend who can say the exact same thing, that they've hunted their
Yeah.
entire life and has never worn one. And I want to take a moment to talk about something that has transformed my approach to hunting. That's mock scrapes. I was introduced to the Scrape Doctor system 2 years ago in Columbus, Ohio, and let me tell you, it changed my game. If you're looking to dive into mock scrapes or just need a fresh perspective, I highly recommend checking out scrapedoctor.com. Their insights have been invaluable, and it's been great to see how my skills have developed since that first meeting. What's more, our relationship has blossomed into a fantastic friendship. And to celebrate that, I want to share an exclusive deal with you. Use code countryfried15 at scrapedoctor.com to save 15% on your purchase. Trust me, you won't regret it. And I've had somebody, she wasn't close to me, but we knew each other. We worked in the same field. She was a trooper, here in Tuscarawas County. I worked in, Yerricksville, Ohio as a police officer. We knew each other, right? We were well aware of each other. We both loved to hunt, and she fell out of her, she didn't wear a harness. And I think she's in a ladder stand. I think some people have like a false sense of security in ladder stands for some reason.
Yeah.
But she was up in a ladder stand and she ended up falling. And I don't remember what all was injured. I do know the extent of the injuries almost was a career ender for her, like where she wouldn't be able to come back to work. Now,
Right.
she was able to recover. She did make it back to work, but I think she had lived in pain, for quite some time.
I don't know. It's one of those things to where it's such a small piece of equipment that there's no reason you shouldn't have it.
No, and I get it, but everybody does it. Everybody does it. I've done it. We've all done it. And unfortunately, we're rolling the dice every time that we do it.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm sorry that the dice rolled the wrong way for you. Like this, that's terrible. Like, and I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Hey, I am alive. I get to watch my children grow up. I get to hunt deer still. I mean, listen, my life's good. I'm happy as could be, man. I mean, I try to live by the motto of don't let the hard days win. And some days they get close. Some days it gets really, really, really tough, but man, I just keep rolling. That's my motto. Let me find the next thing to keep my brain busy. That way I'm not thinking about, oh, hey, you can't walk. But yeah, I'll tell you, it's a positive. That is my outtake on it. I worked in corrections and that's a very negative and dark place. And you start to be there so long that you kind of become desensitized to just normal human feelings. And I was getting to that place pretty deep. And I love this version of me now because it's not that person. I'm not mean to people just because I do it for 8 to 16 hours a day.
Right.
You know, you're not on edge with every little thing. And now man, it's so peaceful. Like, so I think that saved my life. It saved the dad that I might have became. It saved the husband that I might have became. So, you know, just I use everything as a positive now and just be happy. That's my goals.
Dude, that's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm not even going to try to fathom I'm not even going to try to fathom like some days I get, there are probably days that are harder than others. And I understand that. Just, I can't fathom the amount of will that you have to just remain positive in all this and just keep that positive outlook, because it is so easy. You see people, you worked for people that were in prison, that circumstances ruled their life, and
Yeah,
they feel they were dealt a bad hand and they couldn't rise above that and just take control and move forward.
right.
And circumstances, in your case, circumstances beyond your control has dealt you a certain path for you to walk, and you are still a positive person upholding positive light and positive energy for people. That's a hard thing to do. That is a really hard
Yeah.
thing to do. um I wish it was more common in people, but it's not, dude. And that's a superpower that you have, and that's amazing that you're able to keep that amount of positivity. It's
Well,
inspiring.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on the podcast and talk about this. So let's, if you don't want to say this, but I'm trying to make a connection here.
Yeah.
You fell around, you say around 2:30, you said
Yep.
around 2:30, and the cavalry started to show up shortly after 6 o'clock, right?
Yep.
So we're looking at a 3.5 hour window. Did you were you conscious the entire time? What was the experience? What was going through your head at this point that you have fallen like kind of walk me through that what you can remember.
Yeah, definitely. So I remember, I would say I remember all of it. I remember the sounds of like the branches breaking and stuff. Like that's kind of that moment where you're kind of like in your mind, you're like, uh-oh, like what are we doing? And then, just the impact is just boom. And then my legs, both of my legs just felt like they just imploded and were so big that like I thought for sure they were gonna have to cut my bibs off and cut my boots off. And that was like one of the first things I asked Megan when she got there was like, hey, how big are my legs? She goes, they are fine. I'm like, they don't feel fine. And it's just that like when your arm goes to sleep
Hmm.
and that tingling feeling. So that's what I had from the hips down. Um and I landed on my back left, and then I did roll and like tried to crawl a little bit, and then that's when my shoulder broke, and I just laid my head down. I just laid my head down on the rock, and I prayed. I started praying and you know asking, saying like, hey, just please help me through this, like whatever the outcome is, just help me, and I started praying for my family members, like, just pray that they can get through it. If that's what it comes to, I hope they give them the strength to keep going. Um, but yeah, I would say I didn't lose consciousness right away, but I definitely took a good nap until it got dark. Yeah, I yelled help a couple times, but man, I was so far off in the valley that
Yeah.
there wasn't nothing. Nobody was going to hear me. Nobody. And
Yeah.
I mean, I may or may not have had a thought or two of like, man, if that big buck that I saw last night comes in here and thinks that I'm getting in on his territory, man, he's gonna tear me up. But yeah, no, it's and it kind of goes back to like in the beginning when we talked about, people having all these secret spots and this and that. And listen, if my wife would have never gone with me to this stand before, she would have never known where I was. It was that far back. She had an idea,
Hmm.
but she would not have gotten there as fast as she did
Yeah.
without somewhat knowing the path. And that's the kind of stuff that I talk about is why not tell somebody? Um I had to cross through a trail camera um at another spot to like go back to the house, so
Hmm.
like that picture didn't come through, so boom, now we're putting two and two together. He hasn't answered me. He hasn't not answering my calls, it's like okay, that. And then a whistle. I would have never thought about that. A whistle. Carrying a whistle in case of an emergency.
Hmm.
I mean, a whistle don't weigh nothing.
Yeah.
And if I had that, or if somebody that like a lot of my Amish friends is they don't have cell phones. So what happens if they fall? Well,
Yeah.
now, oh man, now they don't have this, they don't have that. So a whistle, man, it's caveman style, but
Yeah.
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. And
So that, I mean, yeah. Um, then the paramedics got there, and I remember the female paramedic, man, she was like over top of me, and she was like, she did her job great, but she was just kind of like yelling, you know what I mean? Like, and it just kind of got me like kind of worked up, like, oh, what's
she
going
was
on? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
she was
oh
amped.
my God, yeah, am I really dead or what the heck's going on? But they put me on the stretcher. Then they had to carry me because they couldn't get the side by side. They couldn't get their side by side close enough. So they had to like carry me, I would say every bit of 200, maybe 150, 150 yards.
Yeah.
Put me in it. And then the weirdest thing was like the old logging road. I remember every curve. I knew right where I was. And then right when we got to the top, I could feel the just fresh air,
Hmm.
from the flatland. And man, that was nice. And then I didn't know that I didn't know that they put me into the ambulance and had to drive me across the road because of power lines and whatnot.
Hmm.
So I didn't remember that, and I'm pretty sure that's when they started giving me the pain medicine. Um, because you got in the helicopter, man, it was like out of a movie. I was laying there, and I like opened my eyes, and this dude's just got this white, just perfect hair flowing out, got that little mask on. I tugged on him. I said, "Am I alive?" He said, "Yeah, buddy, but we gotta get going because I don't know how much longer." And I'm like, "Okay." And yeah. So you've been to Columbus, right? You know how downtown Columbus is nothing but
Yeah.
concrete and steel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I thought I landed in an open field with one of those like party tents, and my two buddies were right beside me. And listen, I thought that for the longest time, like until I like came to in the rehab center, I thought that's what happened. I didn't know I landed on the top of a building in downtown Columbus.
Mm.
Like it was, man, I tell you, they had me on some stuff, and it was just like, woo,
They had me on the good, man.
man. Listen, so I thought Megan and our son, they were in the corner, and I thought they were getting dressed to go hunting, and I kind of freaked out, like, what? You guys aren't going to take me? Like, dude, what?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
Oh no, Joe, let
it's
laugh,
it's
man. It
funny.
is. Listen, it is to me. Those kind of instances are just so funny, and I tell you, there was two things when I went to the rehab center that just kind of clicked in my head, and it was like, all right, cool, now we gotta get over it. Was when my OT, she called me a paraplegic for the first time. Man, I don't know what it was, but those words in 4 syllables, man, they stung me so hard in the heart. And I like kind of started tearing up, and she goes, I'm sorry. I said, you're the first one to call me a paraplegic. And she goes, I didn't. And I said, I know you didn't mean anything by it. It was the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And, and then I got to a point, man, where I could wheel around that rehab unit. I'd be getting up and going out to the fridge and get a juice box or whatever. And one of the nurses was like, "Oh, I didn't see you walk by." And I was like, "That's because I didn't." And she's just like, "I'm sorry." And from there on, everything was a joke, man. I embrace the jokes because I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
I really do. I
Um,
think they're so funny. Ugh.
we're in, I don't, hopefully I don't make your head inflate enough to where you can't fit through the door when we're done here, but you're definitely a positive person, and that your ability to adapt to this as quickly, I'm sure like I said, there was good days and bad days. Obviously, everyone's
Oh,
going to have
sure.
them, but your ability to adapt into that and to in acceptance of that,
Yeah.
as quickly as it was, is that's inspiring. It really is, and I'm glad. Like I said, I'm happy you decided to come on the podcast and reach out and talk to me about this, because this has been an
Yeah.
amazing. We're not done yet, but this has been an amazing discussion. Um,
So yeah, and just real quick, the I wouldn't be where I am without my family. They adapted to it too,
mhm.
and they embraced it too. So like, it's not just a one person kind of thing. It we became a tribe, and that tribe conquered the hardest parts. I mean, it's been 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. November will be three. So yeah, I mean, for 2 years into it, man, I think we have conquered the hardest part, and now we can just coast without the brakes on.
Yeah, it's like they said, behind every strong man is a strong woman, right?
Oh,
And you can say
definitely.
behind every strong woman is a strong man. Like it can go either way, I guess, in today's world. It can. sexist, but whatever. Anyways,
Right.
but but the idea that though is the fact that also in my experience when I've because I well, now not dealing with obviously the trials that your family's been through, but I know when traumatic stuff happens to individuals, the first thing they want to do is they try to isolate themselves, um,
Sure.
and they start to pull away from their support structures and things. And the support structures is your family, those and the friends around you, and that can lead somebody down a dark path really quick when you start to isolate and get away from those support structures because you need those. And kudos to your family for being the support structure to be around you, right? Kudos to
Yeah.
them and praises to them, but also once again back to your natural ability to what I won't call it natural, your natural ability just to go ahead and move forward and not isolate yourself from those. I'm sure there's days that you just want to be left alone, just leave me alone, like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But stay in there, man.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Not to pull away from
I
that.
think like the first part of it, when you go out into public is like you feel like everybody is staring at you. And it's like, oh man, like it makes you really kind of uncomfortable, you know. But then I know something clicked. We were in a Walmart, and I have this little Firefly attachment that goes on the front, and it turns me into a little go-kart. And this little Amish kid was over there, and he was just dead eye staring at me. And it has lights on it, so I flipped the lights at him real quick, and he like jumped and walked away real fast. And I was like, "Yep, that's how I'm gonna do it from here on out." Like that's how I'm embracing it. I'm not even worried about like, oh, what are you looking at? Or, nope, I'm embracing it full force. When when me and my father-in-law get together, he'll be pushing me out of the store or something, and I'll wheel a little bit, get going a little fast, and he'll kind of like lose the grip and kind of jog after me a little, and I'll just be in the parking lot screaming, "I don't know you, get away from me!"
Dude, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, man, that's I love it. I love it. I take my little scooter in town. It's like 4 miles into town. Man, I'll just be riding right down the county highway, just cruising with my music on, telling cars to pass me, pass me.
Just go around.
Hey, now listen, the day that I get passed by a horse and buggy is the day that I will consider not doing it anymore.
It'll be the day I consider to soup up my buggy because
Yeah, my arms work, man. I can hit the reins real quick.
we are going to the gym today, and
Yes. Oh, that's so funny.
it will never happen again. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about post accident. We've started to go down that, obviously already. So so
Yeah.
you've continued hunting, right? What
Oh yeah, definitely.
so and I think that's kind of led you into some different avenues, obviously, and some different connections with some other organizations. Um, but I think one was what would you say, Whitetail Heritage?
Yeah, Whitetail Heritage of Ohio. I credit a lot of overcoming that fear of getting back out into the woods. I credit them with that. I mean, 326 days after my accident, I got accepted to go on this hunt, and I harvested a doe. I mean, they had one of the big nice blinds that had a ramp all the way up to it, and man, it was something that I felt a part of, but at the same time, it was like a different feeling, almost in the feeling as in like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is I don't care about shooting the deer. I don't care about going out and getting the deer. Very thankful for it, but man, I love watching these first time hunters come in and people with disabilities and Down syndrome. And man, when they come in, I'm telling you right now, there's no my heart doesn't get any warmer than that. That makes my whole day. Like, and I felt that when I hunted, and then last year I really felt it like the whole day, just everything about the day. And man, they grew it's so we had 36 hunters this year, and So that's 36 landowners that are giving up a Saturday in October for these people to come out and hunt, and it's free range. If their Boone and Crockett big old boy comes through there, guess what? Shoot it. Shoot it
Hmm.
right now. And I think that is shifted my what do I want to say? Shifted my thought process on a lot of things. Is, life is way bigger than what I got going on right here.
Hmm.
It's way bigger than that. I wanna help. I wanna give and be a part and do good. Like, like I don't want the glory for me. It's all glory to God, but I get some joy out of it. It's it's a really good thing. Yeah, we take 36 was the most that we've taken or they have taken, and that was last year. So um they say we're not going to get bigger, but we'll see. So that October, last October, we had 36 hunters and there was 700 people there. The catering service that we had said that they cooked enough food that fed 700 people.
Whew, that's a lot of people.
Um, yeah, yeah. It's Man, I tell you, it's the coolest thing. So like in the morning we have breakfast. And then the hunters come in and we pair them up with their guides, and then we get them all decked out in their clothing, and ODNR talks. Then we have lunch, and then they shoot the bows. Like we have 36 10-point bows and the
Mhm.
bogs tripods. We're set up for everything. We're set up for quadriplegics that have like the bite triggers. We had a blind person, and they moved it around. Now the guide was behind them, like, okay, there it is, pull the trigger, boom. But she pulled the trigger, she tracked the deer. So it's like, man, like, I don't know. It is so much fun. And then the hunters go out, and then everybody kind of hangs around, the families and stuff. And then, man, the action is on when they come in because it's down this drive. So you got a guy at the mailbox, radio and the what do you call him, like the MC or whatever.
Mhm.
And he radios, and we got this guy coming in and he got a doe. And then they'll have a drone like meet him halfway down the driveway, and it'll show like a live thing on the board.
Yeah.
And they make a big tunnel and they drive right through the tunnel, and man, they cheer just as loud as if it is an 80-pound fawn compared to a Boone and Crockett. Man, they cheer the same. And to give that joy, or to be a part of being able to give that joy, that's my hunting season. Watching all 36 of them come in with deer, and my wife and my kids shooting. Man, I don't care. I could go out and sit every day and not see a deer, and I'm telling you right now, if the other things happen, I'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So that it is. It's a really good thing. You can check this out on whitetailheritageofohio.net. If you think you fit anybody fits the qualifications, fill out that application. Um, we have a banquet every year. It's a fundraising banquet. It's coming up in March, and
Mhm.
yeah, we have 155 people just in the hunters section already. You know where the Northeastern Sportsman Show was?
Yes.
At Mount Hope there?
Mhm.
So we will literally pack that building from one side to the other.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
hear you saying we. Are you part of the organization now, or?
Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about Whitetail Heritage, and
Mhm.
just we have that banquet. Man, it's so much fun. The food is so good, the fellowship with everybody. We do gun blitzes all the time. Raffle off just any and everything, honestly. We have, what is it? I think one of the big guns is the Ruger Model 77 450.
Mhm.
Yeah, like yeah, you saw it there at our little table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think we got another one of those to auction off at the or raffle off there at the banquet. And then that side by side, I'm telling you, $20 get you a ticket. All you need's one, but I'll sell you six for 100.
6 for 100.
Oh, but no, man, it is. I don't know. It's something that is near and dear to my heart, and
So what all does
until I
whitetail
take
what all does
that
what all does whitetail heritage do? So it sounds like they are involved in getting people out in the outdoors rather than first time hunters or people, I don't want to say special needs, but you know what I mean. People
disabilities.
with disabilities, get
Yeah,
them out into the woods and experience something that they may not otherwise have had the opportunity to do. So what is that?
absolutely.
Is that what they mainly focus on, or what else does Whitetail Heritage? Excuse
Yeah,
me.
so we do that. We help out in the community with fundraisers and everything like that. We're a nonprofit, so we like what I want to say, like a family that is in need, like is
Hmm.
going through a really hard time, we will help them out. Like it's just giving back. That's what I guess that's what keeps all the guys going.
Right.
All the guys, all the meetings I've been to, it's always been that general. We're here to help. We are here to do what God wants us to do, and that is to give back and to help and to be just good members of society.
Hmm.
So that, and then we hit a little bit on conservation and management. We did. I want to try to do like a deer processing, something like that. That could be like our educational thing.
Hmm.
Could be another little fundraiser for us or something.
Hmm.
Just getting kids involved with the outdoors
Absolutely.
is because listen, it might not happen in our lifetime, and it might not happen in my great grandbaby's lifetime, but at some point it's gonna go back to the colonial days where you're gonna have to hunt for your food, and if you don't know how to do that, you're gonna starve, or you're
Yeah.
gonna pay a ridiculous amount of money for meat. So so that's one thing that I really enjoy about that too is passing along things that will help in the future.
Yeah. I think you're onto something with that deer processing thing. I think
Yeah.
so. You thinking like it being like a class or something where you bring people in and teach them how to do it, or is it like you're offering the service? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, so like I would do almost, and this is just kind of spitballing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but like I would do June or July, and at the place that we have it, there's a big pond and big pavilion, and we have another big tent. I would do like you know have like a little fishing thing and teach the kids how to fish and
Hmm.
how to get the fish off the hook and my wife had the great idea of buying the little earthworm farms and
Hmm.
and taking that and like showing how the earthworms move or grow and then using that as the bait. um, and then I would have the deer processing, so have to talk to ODNR and get like your maybe they could give us a little extra permits or something, take a couple does or something and just show the kids like, hey, this is how we gut it.
Hmm.
This is how we get this piece of meat off, or this
Hmm.
piece of meat's good, or this is the silver skin. I don't know. I was the type of kid to where if I heard it from somebody other than my dad, I listened way better.
Hmm.
You
That's
know what I mean? Like,
that's most
I don't
kids.
know what that is. My son does it to me all the time, and it's like, gosh, all right, Junior.
It's
But
all kids, all of them.
yeah, and and then like the main event, I would want to do like a archery, and I brainstormed it like a summer showdown. And
Hmm.
you get three dudes and you got 10 targets because there's a lot of space out there to shoot. and to be able to shoot safely, and then just have like a little tournament to raise money, like, you know,
Hmm.
just fun stuff like that. Like I know it's like it's not hard work, kind of. I mean, what we do, it is, but it isn't. It's work, you
Hmm.
know. Like there's so many people behind the scenes that are putting in time and effort and this and that, and you know, it's not really laborful, but at the same time, we have the hunt in October, then we have the banquet in December, and then we want to maybe do something in June or July. It's like
Hmm.
boom, 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 boom. Like I don't know.
There's
A lot of the what is it?
there's a lot of background work that happens to those things. Like I don't think people understand the amount of work that has to go into that to those, right?
Yeah.
Just the logistics behind all of it. And then on top of that, like getting everybody in place where they need to be, finding the locations, setting those locations up. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that a lot of people don't see.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think you can say that is labor. That you guys are putting in hard work doing this stuff. Like there is work that goes into this. Now, it may not seem like labor because it's a labor of love. So it doesn't
Oh
feel like
yeah.
labor to you, but you guys are putting in hard work to make this happen, and kudos to you guys and stuff. So let's get this out here. So if someone hears what you just got on talking about, and they want to be a part of it, or they want to help out in however way they can, well, how can they do that? Can they where can they reach out to? What can they do?
Yeah. So message me. My TikTok. We can put that on there if you want.
We'll get that. We'll get that all at the end. I was just
Okay, okay. Yeah.
we're at like 10:30
Send
right
me a
now.
message. Whitetailheritage .net is our website.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can look us up on Facebook, send direct messages that way. Yeah, I mean, anything that anybody thinks that they could offer, bring to the table, and are passionate about it, absolutely.
Well, good. I hopefully, and I encourage people to get involved. If it's not whitetail and heritage, like something similar to that to help out, and help promote what we do and get the next generation involved, or just help someone who wouldn't have the opportunity to do it at all,
Yeah,
because of a disability, or something that's happened in life that just has kept them away, or they just didn't have the mentorship that they needed around them to get involved into it. So,
sure.
absolutely, all for that kind of stuff. Well,
Yeah,
before
and
go ahead.
our hunt next year is on the 10th of October.
Okay.
So it's at Pilgrim Hills down in Tiverton area. So anybody kind of local, if you want to come out and just observe the day and eat some good food, come out. And I'm telling you, when you go home that night, your heart will be like the Grinch's. It'll grow three sizes.
And his heart grew three sizes that day.
Yeah.
Well, before we close this out, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Like, take all things into consideration, but I'm going to give you the mic and take as long as you want. I want you to whatever message that you have for every hunter, every outdoorsman, everything. What is the message that you want to get across? And like I said, take as much time as you need, but this is your opportunity to talk directly to them and tell them whatever it is that you need to get out.
Yeah. So obviously, safely hunting. It save your life. I mean, it'll save your life. It'll save your family's life. It'll save hard times. There's no reason not to wear one. It's if you don't wear one, then it's foolish because instead of saying, "Oh no, that won't happen to me," you should start saying, "It hasn't happened to me yet," because I'm a firm believer it could happen to anybody at any given time. So yeah, just safely hunt. Another thing is you know why I guess in a sense why are we as hunters why do we care so much about what a buck scores and not accepting the fact that man that dude was successful, like he set out to get a deer this year and he did it. So why are we putting such a high priority on big bucks and you know let's just all be happy together because we're all doing the same thing. Like, oh yeah, you might shoot two or three big deer. That's great. I'm just as happy for you as I am for me shooting two fawns. Like, there's the chase, and I think the social media platforms have blown up big deer and smaller people, I guess, or smaller landowners, or the average hunter, I guess, kind of gets blown away because I don't want to watch that. He's not shooting a big deer, or nah. Like, listen, Kip Campbell, man, I love watching his show. You know why? Because he loves shooting does, and he'll show you when he messes up. Like,
Mhm.
it's a pack that we are all in, and it is a pact of unwritten rules that I think a lot of people have lost their way in. Um, like I said, I'm not a lifelong hunter. I will be from now on. This new
Mhm.
me he's a lifelong hunter, but just hearing stories from great grandfathers and grandfathers and just older people in the community, there's no, yeah, we're deer hunters. It's oh, he's a rack hunter, or oh, they ain't got a whole bunch of land. Why don't we come together? Come together, because that's what we are put on this earth to do, is come together and help people. So don't ever, don't ever think that anybody is better than anybody just because they shoot a 180-inch deer and you shot a 100-inch deer. Be just as happy, and spread positivity and joy, and lend a helping hand. I mean, good advice. I mean, yeah,
Well, that's a beautiful message, and thank you for sharing that with everyone. And yeah, I think it's I think both those topics, or all the topics, especially what we discussed today, is things that everybody needs to hear and needs to be reminded of. Because it's easy, like you said, that we can get isolated. We can start to get in our echo chamber of our own social media accounts, or our own, this echo chamber, and that's all we see. We get ungrounded from where we should have been, or where we need to be, and we kind of lost touch of where we started. And
yeah,
safety is something that gets glossed over too much, and we is because so some of the trainings I've done, on my end, as a in the professional, like, law enforcement world, I always had the safety vlogs, because safety's always been very important to me. Because, now, while we can't eliminate risk of the activities that we do, we definitely mitigate those risks by taking those precautions that we need to.
absolutely.
And sometimes they're redundant, and I get it, but man, it's not worth it. The risk
Yeah,
is not worth it.
yeah.
Um, I'm
The
grateful.
the redundancy of pushing yourself around and stuff like that is way harder than putting on a harness.
Listen, you can say that, I can't, and thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I was just gonna say, I'm grateful that, that it wasn't worse for you, that you're still here to talk to us, and you're still there for your family, is what it is.
Yeah,
Like, you're still there for your family. You're still there to watch your kids grow up. You're still there to be beside your wife, right? Um, and other family and support members that are around you. You're still there with them. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been way
yeah,
worse. Um, One of the things I wanted to mention and bring up, and you talked a little bit about this, is letting people know where you're at. And I think having a good safety plan, or a good hunt plan put together, for even if it's just a daily hunt, whatever it is, so people know where to find you. They know about general time that you're coming out of the woods
yep,
to help with this, right?
yep,
Because time is not on your side when a major accident happens. It is not on your side.
sure, no,
Um, and the faster people can get to you, the better the better your chances are. And
yep,
so keep a good safety plan. Use all safety precautions that you should be. Like, let's be real.
yeah.
And I feel terrible saying that, given why we're talking today. Like, I almost feel like I'm scolding you when I say that, but it's not you directly, man. I'm sorry. It's like,
No, don't be.
use those safety measures that are there for you. And honestly, get past that pride, get past that ego, get past that, whatever it is that's stopping you from doing it. Um, because you're right, it may not happen to you, but what if it does?
Yeah,
What if it
yeah,
what if it does? And those of you who are listening that can answer when it did, I hope that you're making it okay, you know? So
yeah, absolutely. Anybody that, is going through hard time or anything, get a hold of me. I gladly will talk to you and share tips and tricks and whatever we can do to just help each other.
absolutely. Well, Nathan, I think we're getting ready to close this one out, buddy. Is there anything else that you would like to say that we've not covered before we close this thing out?
No, sir. I think we got a good start on it.
Yeah, we covered a lot of we covered a lot today, man. Well, Nathan, I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your day. And honestly, you're the one that initiated this. You got a hold of me and said, hey, here's my story. I'd like to be on your podcast. I'm like, okay, we can
Yeah,
make this
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
Um, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful that you took the opportunity to do that. And I'm happy for you that you are in the mental state that you're in, the positive outlook that you have, and the positivity that you shine, given the circumstance that a lot of people wouldn't be able to climb out of. And, or if they did, it would took them years and years and years. And that's not saying, like I said, that you've not had your hard days. And I want people to know this. Like there are still hard days. There will always be
oh
hard
yeah,
days. Um, but generally living on the positive side of things to keep things moving forward, man. That's inspiring. And I hope the people who get to hear this can take that inspiration with them and a learning lesson along the way too. So, but that's all I got for you, man. And I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna give you opportunity. Where can people find you at? Give us all your socials, TikTok, Instagram, all those things. Let us know.
yeah. So mostly I'm on TikTok, and it is Spikes and Spokes on TikTok. Uh, YouTube, I haven't put anything on there yet, but it's Spikes and Spokes TV. Um, I got some things that I just gotta upload. Facebook, Facebook switches up, goes back to the coon hunting days, and it's Deep Creek Kennels on Facebook. So anything there, direct message me. Anything you guys need. If you're hard up and you need a harness, I'll buy you one.
Well, Nathan, you are an inspiration, and like I said, I'm happy that you jumped on here and talked to us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thankful for you guys spending the last hour and a half joining Nathan and I as we talked about Nathan's upbringing into the outdoor world, having his wife bring him into the hunting world, and then sharing that fateful day with us where a I'll just say a 5-second decision is made a lifetime had a lifetime consequence to it. And Nathan has been a pillar, I think, of what positivity looks like. What trying to navigate through the challenges that come with that affliction, and still moving forward and giving back, and not just for himself, but also giving back to the culture as a whole and getting other people involved. Um, we know that your time is valuable, and we do appreciate that you took that time to listen to us.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you
Thank you guys.
if you want to follow them more on the show, make sure you give us a follow and like on the podcast platform that you found us on. The video version is on Spotify and YouTube, and you can come across the audio version on Apple, Spotify as well, um, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. And YouTube has the audio version too, in case you just want to put it on and listen to it. You can follow Country Fried Outdoors at TikTok at countryfried.outdoors, Instagram at Country Fried Outdoors, all one word. And you can find us on YouTube at Country Fried Outdoor Productions. But, ladies and gentlemen, until our experiences cross paths again, may you have the courage to fail, but yet the humility to learn. And as always, we hope you stay safe out there, and God bless you. Thank you for listening to the Country Fried Outdoors Chasing Your Experience podcast. Before you go, don't forget to leave us a review and follow the show on the podcast platform of your choice. Are you hungry for more Country Fried Outdoors? Then follow us on Instagram at Country Fried Outdoors or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Country Fried Outdoor Productions.